Hey guys, it's Erin here and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be swapping my phone screen time for reading time. So recently I've been in kind of a reading rut. My goal for this year was to read 20 books. I have so far read 3 books, so very behind schedule. And so to encourage me to read some more, I recently placed an order on a book outlet to buy more books and it literally came today. So I'm very excited. I have quite a few books to read. And can I just say this is not sponsored by Book Outlet in any way, but if you're looking for books to read, I definitely recommend you to check out Book Outlet because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books and I believe there's like $47 or something like that. Actually, I'll probably link my referral code down below because I'm pretty sure if you use it, you get like $5 off your first purchase of over $25. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I've never like gotten anyone to use it before, but if you happen to buy something off a Book Outlet, might as well try it out because if you can get $5 off, that is great. But yeah, like I said, this is not at all sponsored by Book Outlet. I just have been buying my books from there just because it's pretty cheap and affordable. Some of the books that I do get have like lines through them, or like I remember one of the books was like a little bit like folded or like ripped a little bit, but like you can still read them. They're in good enough condition to read. I'm pretty sure they're books that like they can't sell in store or like there's a small defect to it. But anyways, getting back to the video, so today is actually Tuesday, June the 13th. I know most people usually start this off on like a Monday, but again, since I just got my books today, we're starting it off on a Tuesday, and I guess I'm gonna go from Tuesday to Monday. I don't know, do people usually do like one full week or do they just do like 5 days? I'm not entirely sure. I guess I'll do 7 days because we do want to try to read a lot. So my last week's screen time average was 4 hours and 17 minutes. Some days were really low and some days were really high, so high days are definitely going to be hard. My total screen time was 30 hours and 4 minutes, so that means I'll have to read approximately that much. Then again, I'm using the Sunday and Monday from this week. My screen time for Tuesday, June the 6th was 3 hours and 21 minutes, so that is how much I'm going to read today. And I've already decided on the book that I want to read, which is Float by Kate Merchant. I'm super excited for this book because, fun fact, I've actually already read this book. This is a Wattpad book, but when it was first published on Wattpad, I remember like I started reading it when she was still like working on it, so it wasn't like 100% finished. For some reason, I can't remember the ending too much. Maybe I didn't even read the ending. I don't even know. It is currently 8:13 p.m. so luckily I don't have to read too much today. I'm honestly probably gonna sit on my bed, so let's get comfy first. We're going to start the timer. 3 hours and 21 minutes. So hey guys, I'm taking a little break to eat some dessert. My mom had made a strawberry rhubarb crisp and then also having it with some ice cream, so very excited for this. Anyways, it is now 9:30 and I have 2 hours and 27 minutes left to read. I'm currently on page 47, so we are making a little bit of progress. It's now 1:07. I guess I underestimated how long 3 hours and 21 minutes is because I did not estimate it would take me till 1 to read it pretty much. That's fine, whatever. We still accomplished the 3 hours and 21 minutes. But I'm currently on page 176, so that means I'm almost halfway done the book. But yeah, I think I'm going to finish off this chapter and then I will see you guys tomorrow for another day of reading. Hey guys, good morning. Excuse the appearance, I just got back from a walk. Anyways, I made myself some breakfast, some nice oatmeal, and we're gonna eat that as we continue to read. So I ended up finishing the chapter last night, so I'm now on page 191, so that is very exciting. We're more than halfway through the book and that means I should be able to finish this book today. So I'm gonna pull up my screen time for today. I know that my screen time will definitely be high today because I kind of saw it yesterday. Yeah, I think this is probably the most reading I'll have to do in this whole video, but my screen time for today is 6 hours and 45 minutes. minutes. So in my defense, my most used app for that day was my books app on like my phone. Because essentially when I was buying new books, what I like to do is I like to download the sample of the book, which you can usually get on like iBooks or even like a Kindle. And so I usually like to read that sample just to get like a feel for the book and see if I like the way that the author writes and like the way that the characters are written and stuff like that. So yeah, I spent 2 hours and 33 minutes doing that. And so in a sense, I was technically reading, but I guess because it is in my screen time, I will try to count it. So my goal today is to read 6 hours and 45 minutes, which we all know is not going to be easy, but I'm up for the challenge. Currently at 10:06 right now. We're gonna go ahead and start the timer, and we are also going to start reading. So it is a bit later now, finished lunch, and now I'm going to be doing some more reading. I came inside because it looks like it's going to rain. Still have 5 hours and 42 minutes to read. So I just went ahead and made myself a hot chocolate. Anyways, I don't even know how long I read for. I can't remember how much time I had on the timer. It's already 2 o'clock though, and I still have 5 hours and 9 minutes on the timer. I think I'm going to read a little bit more just because I'm pretty into the book right now. This always happens like towards the end of the book. I read it so fast and like I can't put it down because like I just want to know what happens. And even though I've read this book already technically years ago, it's the ending that like I really don't remember what happened. So I'm very excited to finish reading this. So it's sometime later and I ended up finishing the book flow, which is very exciting. I made my little review on Goodreads as I do whenever I finish a book. And I think overall I would rate this book a 3.75. It was really good. It was cute. I think it didn't live up to the hype that I had built up in my head though. Like I was thinking this was going to be like an amazing 4.5 or 5-star read, and it wasn't necessarily that. I think I just really liked it when I was younger, but now maybe that I'm older, it's, I don't know, maybe a little bit too cliche for me. Like it's still good. Anyways, one book done, so that is very exciting. And now we're going to be moving on to our next book. So it's actually already 7:25. I still have to do 4 hours and 1 minute, so I might not finish the full 4 hours today. We shall see how it goes. What I am thinking is what I don't finish today, I'll just like add it on to tomorrow. I will eventually read it all. I just don't want to like be going to bed super late every single day. So apparently I lied when I said that I was going to go to sleep earlier than I did yesterday. It is currently 1:11 and I also did not end up finishing the timer for today. But like I said earlier, I'm just going to do that 1 hour tomorrow. Anyways, I've made some decent progress in this book. I think it's pretty good so far. What I really like about this book is that it's told in like both the main characters' point of views. I guess if I didn't already talk about it, this book is another one of your young adult romance books, and essentially it's about two main characters, Aiden and Olivia. And so Aiden is this like all-star pitcher for his school's baseball team, and then Olivia is very straight-laced, as it explains in this book. She has like her life all figured out. She's very organized, has dreams and all that kind of stuff. But then the summer before their senior year, everything changes, and pretty much Aiden's thing is that he is losing vision in one of his eyes, so he actually quits baseball. And then with Olivia, her boyfriend breaks up with her, her dream internship falls through, and so they're both kind of in this like place of like a lot of things have messed up their plans, and so they end up meeting and they end up having to spend the summer together. So it kind of just goes off of that. I don't want to say too much without spoiling it. I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So hey guys, it is actually now 10:17. I just finished the call that I had this morning, and then I also went on to LinkedIn to just do my usual looking for jobs to apply to. But anyways, I thought I would continue with my reading now that that is done with. Like I said yesterday, I still have an hour on the clock. I'm going to do that first, and then we will try to accomplish the hours I have to read today. So it is now 11:24 and I just finished the hour that I was supposed to read yesterday. Now we have to tackle today's screen time, and I've already seen it. It's going to be a lot. So looking at my screen time from Thursday, June the 8th, it was 6 hours and 20 minutes. But again, kind of like yesterday, 2 hours of my 6-hour screen time was me reading books. Well, like reading the samples of the books I was going to potentially buy. So I'm going to go ahead and start this timer and we can continue with our reading. So good news, I just finished this book. Overall, it was pretty good. Not like one of my all-time favorite books, but like not bad. I think I rated this like a 3.5 out of 5. And so I was going to read Malibu Rising next, but I think I'm going to read one more romance. So this one is called What's Not to Love by Emily Wimberly and Austin Sigmund Brucka. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure. This one includes one of my all-time favorite romance tropes, which is enemies to lovers. I don't know why, I just really like that trope. So essentially this one is about a girl named Allison and a guy named Ethan, and they compete in almost anything involving school. Pretty much like enemies. They don't like each other because like they're constantly competing for the same thing. But then as one of their extracurriculars, they are co-planning a previous class's 10-year reunion, and so they start, I guess, seeing eye to eye. I'm not sure because I haven't read it yet. But anyways, it's currently 7:16 and I still have 4 hours and 19 minutes left on my timer. So I didn't end up reading as much as I initially wanted to. After I filmed the last clip, I probably read like 20 pages of the book, and then I don't know why, I just like did not feel like reading. I think because I've been reading a lot more than I'm used to, I don't know, got kind of tired of it, so I took a break. But as one of my goals, I always want to read before I head to bed because I don't want to like be on my phone too much. And so I started reading at like maybe 11:50ish, and then of course the book started getting good, so I couldn't like stop and put it down. But it's already 1:23, so I need to head to bed soon. Just got home from going grocery shopping. It took a little bit longer than expected. It's actually already 11:33. The good news is I successfully got everything that I needed for Father's Day, which is on Sunday, so that is good. But anyways, usually we eat lunch at about 12, so I figured I would go ahead and do some reading until 12. And actually, I have 2 hours and 26 minutes that I still have to do from yesterday. So I ate lunch and actually just got back from a walk with my mom. We actually walked to McDonald's and I got myself a caramel iced coffee. I'm gonna turn the clock on. I can't tell. Yeah, it is going. Let's get to it. Why it doesn't like go off as an alarm on my phone. Does this happen to anyone else where like you set, like why does it go off so much later than it should be? Like you saw the countdown and then like pretty much like I have to open my phone, go to this app, and then finally the alarm will go off. But regardless, we have successfully finished yesterday's reading and I'm actually more than halfway through the book, but I'm kind of getting to a good part of it, so I think I'm going to continue reading honestly for a little bit more. So my screen time last Friday, June the 9th was actually only 2 hours and 20 minutes, which we absolutely love because there would be no way that I could do another 6-hour day on top of the 2 hours I've already done today. So it is now 10:14 and I just finished reading the 2 hours and 20 minutes I had to do for today's day, and I actually got pretty far into the book. And even though I'm finished like reading the hours for today, I honestly might just, you know, finish this book today while I'm at it because this book is pretty good so far. I like it and I want to know what happens at the end. Hey guys, good morning. It is the next day, and yesterday I actually did end up finishing this book. I think I finished it around 11:30 and honestly it was pretty good. This is kind of like what I wanted in a romance book read, as I was talking about earlier. The other ones were good, but they just like, I don't know, they didn't live up to the hype that I wanted them to, and this one was definitely the best out of the 3 that I've so far read. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars, and now we are finally going to start the book that I've been trying to start pretty much this whole week, which is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think one of the reason I might be putting this off is because I absolutely love this series. I've already read the 1st, 2nd, and 4th book. I know I read them out of order. But yeah, so this is the last one I have to read, and once I finish this, I will be done reading that series, so I think that's like kind of bittersweet for me. Okay, so my screen time for last Saturday, June the 10th was another 6 hours love that for me. I know I seem to be making excuses for all of my 6 hours, but in my defense, 1 hour was spent on Spotify, and I don't really know if that counts. This was actually a day I saw my friend Jeevan, and whenever we hang out, we usually listen to music on Spotify. Part of this was during while I was driving, and Jeevan was just like picking out songs to play, and then we maybe spent like a few minutes like sharing music with each other. So that was like the bulk of the Spotify. I'm pretty sure usually when you listen to Spotify and your phone is not on, it doesn't record it as screen time. So technically I would say this is more of like a 5-hour day, but I'm still going to try to do the 6 hours because I am trying to read as much as I can. I just apparently like making up excuses of why my screen time is so high. But anyways, we have a long day ahead of us.
So comfortable, and no one seems to hold me like you do.
I have done absolutely no reading since I last updated this morning. It is currently 8:31 and we still have 5 hours and 2 minutes. I did some editing though earlier today because I wanted to do some of that. I wanted to originally get a video up tomorrow. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's like, do I read or do I edit? The dilemma. And then went out to eat, and then I went to the driving range with my dad and brother, I guess like as an early Father's Day. So change of plans, just actually went to Dairy Queen to get a Blizzard. Got my favorite, which is the Choco Brownie Extreme. So now we're going to get to reading. Good morning. It is now 9:57 and I've been reading for the last little bit. I'm now down to 4 hours and 4 minutes, which is great. But anyways, I need to start getting ready for the day so then me and my brother can start making brunch for my dad for Father's Day.
So wonderful. A star could never shine.
So I just finished reading my screen time from yesterday. I didn't really read that much during the day, although once we got back from the movies and dinner for Father's Day, I picked up my book, started reading, and I've been reading ever since. It's 11:57, so pretty much 3 minutes until tomorrow, and I have not even done any of my reading time for today. So last Sunday, June the 11th, I had 3 hours and 35 minutes of screen time. Probably read till like maybe 1. I feel like recently I've just been going to sleep at 1 and accepting it. Good morning. Just got back from a walk. I actually woke up kind of late today because I did read more last night. I'm now down to 2 hours and 44 minutes. It's currently at 10:35. Let's go ahead and start this and get to reading.
Even the dark days still see light. Even the birds still sing at night.
It is now 5:01 and I finished reading Malibu Rising earlier today. Honestly, I would say it was a pretty good book. I think I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Essentially, it is about the Riva family, which consists of 4 kids. There's Nina, who's a talented surfer and supermodel. Jay's a championship surfer, and then Hud is a renowned photographer. And then their adored baby sister, Kit. And they are the kids of the legendary singer Mick Riva. Essentially, every single year, the Rivas throw this like huge party that like all these famous people go to. This year, the party kind of gets out of hand, and by morning, the Riva mansion has gone up in flames. So it kind of just like talks about the Riva family, the 4 siblings, the parents, and like it kind of is like a back and forth. It goes like back in time to when they were younger and talks about like their family dynamic. I feel like in a lot of the books in this kind of like series, the characters are like very flawed and sometimes unlikable, versus I really liked all the Riva siblings and thought they were good characters. Don't get me wrong, there's obviously characters in this book that are very unlikable, and if you read it, you'd probably understand. I in general just like love Taylor Jenkins Reid books. Like the way she writes them, I find them pretty interesting. And what I like about this series is even though they're like fictional characters, it's like historical fiction where it almost feels like it's real people. And so I kind of like that. And actually this book had some like guest stars that were actual real celebrities in like the 80s. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, kind of bittersweet now that I'm done all 4 of the books, but definitely recommend giving this and all the other books a read. And this also means I have now read 4 books in the span of this video, which is more books than I've read the entire year so far. Anyways, I still have an hour and 60 minutes that I have to read from yesterday's screen time. I'm in kind of a dilemma because I don't know what book to read next. I'm not gonna finish this book within this video because that's just impossible, but I do obviously have to start it to finish off my reading time. And so right now I'm in between read 2 books. So the first book we have is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and this is actually the second book to the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I read the first book and I absolutely loved it. But then we also have this book, which is If I'm Being Honest, and this is actually the same authors who wrote the other book that I read. I forgot what it was even called. How could I forget? Oh yeah, the book is called What's Not to Love. How could I already forget that? That's pretty sad. But anyways, that was probably my favorite romance book that I read out of the 3 romance books that I did read. And so because I liked that book, I kind of want to read this one because it's by the same authors, and this one was actually rated higher than the other one. I think I might read this just because this sounds super interesting. Pretty much about this girl named Cameron Bray, and she's kind of a bitch. I think her dad is rich, so she's like a rich girl from LA type of thing. She has a bad reputation of being like kind of mean and stuff, but she has a crush on this guy named Andrew, but Andrew like kind of knows that she's kind of like a mean person. And so in order for Cameron to get Andrew's interest, she has to like make amends with like people that she like burned bridges with or like mean to, I guess. So essentially it says that she has to make amends with a certain guy, but then that leads to complicated feelings with said guy. So that kind of sounds interesting in my opinion. Honestly, I think I might read this. Anyways, it is now 5:12. I've been rambling for way too long.
I feel so lucky I met you.
It is now 7:04 and I just finished reading the screen time hours from yesterday. So now all I have to do is finish today's screen time reading time and we will be done with this challenge. My screen time for last Monday, June the 12th was 2 hours and 50 minutes. But I'm going to get back into reading and I'll update you guys once the 2 hours and 50 minutes are done.
So lucky I met you. It's not logical.
And just like that, I finished reading my screen time for today, hence finishing this challenge once and for all. I'll say that this book is pretty good. Figured I would go ahead and kind of end this video now. I definitely was pretty happy with all the books I was able to read. I thought this challenge was pretty fun. I have to calculate it, but I'll put like the total amount of hours that I ended up reading this week. So yeah, with that being said, I'll go ahead and end this video, but thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully this encouraged you to read some books if you're in a reading slump as well. Anyways, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.
Way I feel when you walk in the room.